This place, if you have not been here, is one of the brilliant sound makers in all of college basketball. The Boilermakers and the Scarlet Knights tonight from Mackey Arena on John Wooden Drop. Here is Braden Smith with the ball in his hands through Lawyer, who has not shot it well recently. Zach Edey against Cliff Amore all night long. Andre Hyatt called it a Godzilla movie when they met for the first time.
Well, Rutgers in the first meeting sent multiple bodies at him. There Amore was off. Edey came over with the late double. Look for them to throw multiple bodies all night long. Edey, his efficiency has taken a little bit of a dip the last 3 games. Interesting to see how does he fare against one of the better defensive centers in the league.
We talked about how difficult Mackey Arena is. It's not supposed to be because of the rims being tough. As there's a block by Edey against Amore. Braden Smith has really leveled up this year. He gets right to the rim. Nobody stopped the ball. And Rutgers is in early danger.
Well, and he was one of the guys that really won that game in Piscataway back on January 28th. 19.6 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field. But looking for his own offense has opened up everything for Purdue this year.
He made 3 threes in that game as well. And the shots just did not fall for the Boilermakers from outside of the free throw line over the weekend against Ohio State. And a save at the end line there, a little wraparound for Amore, and he scores.
And that's going to be something to watch. Rutgers, one of the few teams all year long that's gotten Purdue on the glass, and early on, the offensive rebounds paying dividends for the Scarlet Knights.
They're really going to have to, right? It's not a great three-point shooting team,
no, and they've got to drive the basketball. And I think you've got to really take the temperature of some of these Purdue guards and see if you can get to the rim.
Here's Trey Kaufman-Renn. Smith with a hard cut to get to the ball. His floater is good. Watching that possession, he was unbelievably active.
Well, and just the stop and go, the hesitation move there by Braden Smith. You freeze Andre Hyatt, and Cliff Amore is so concerned with Edey, doesn't even contest the shot.
How about Simpson there? He saw Edey. He's an immediate automatic step back, and he knocks it down.
Well, and that's going to be what's there against Purdue. That drop coverage is susceptible to pull-up jumpers. Simpson really getting off the snide at Minnesota. The 3 prior to that, 6 of 25 from the field, had 19 points and a more efficient 6 of 14.
Oh boy, 3 for Lance Jones, who some coaches have called the best transfer portal pickup in the country.
And he was probably rated somewhere in the 90s or the 100s or the 110s. You know, certainly a guy that was unheralded coming into this year, but his impact has been felt well across the Big Ten.
To be clear, Steve Peichel was one of those coaches before the game. As Jeremiah Williams scores, as you've watched Rutgers, what does he bring to them?
Well, that right there, that's his deal with that little right floater. He plays pick and roll, and on top of his scoring, I think he opens up things for Big Cliff. I think Amore, his numbers have seen an uptick in the 5 games that we've seen Jeremiah Williams with this team.
Oh man. Braden Smith had a pass in the Alabama game we did where he dragged the defense to the right and then whistled it to Edey. Watch him hunt this pass.
Well, and just eyes up the entire time. I mean, you've got Cliff Amore out there on the hard hedge. Braden Smith's numbers over the last 7 have been just phenomenal. 15 and 7. Certainly a really hard foul there from Jeremiah Williams to keep that from being an and 1. Braden Smith's been scoring. He's been setting his teammates up. I mean, he is playing honestly like an All-American.
7 straight double-figure games. And not only that, last 4 games, he's been to the line 13 times, and he's made them all.
Got to the line. He's been efficient from 2 and 3. He's got that pull-up back to working. The jump that he's made, man, he has made himself into quite the player.
Dribbling from JaMychal Davis. Lawyer trailing him. Another offensive rebound. Amore left it short. Another offensive rebound. Number 4 for Rutgers. It's a Williams 3, and it's cash.
Rutgers are just playing patty cakes up there on the offensive boards. I mean, you're not talking about just once, but multiple opportunities. And what a time to kick that out. Jeremiah Williams locked and loaded from that left wing.
Call it now 5 offensive rebounds in the first 4 minutes. And the wrestling match begins down low.
Lobs, dump downs, and Jeremiah Williams can set all that up for him.
Amori did pick up his first foul of the game, and that will obviously be a story. Zach Edey creates foul trouble when he walks on the floor. Oh, Jones, little discard, a splash down. See ya, Jeremiah Williams.
That's been one area where he has struggled. Just 20% on twos the last 3 games. 0 of 6 at Ohio State.
Tell you what, Rutgers is getting to the rim as Abole comes in. Emmanuel Abole, who's only played 31 minutes in his entire career. He meets Kaufman-Renn. There's a jump shot off the dribble, and that was kind of disjointed the whole time.
Lance Jones is going to shoot the first one, unless he didn't catch it right.
Steal by Kaufman-Renn. Rutgers playing without Amori right now, and we will see if Purdue tries to go to work on that. They're at Edey's side. He posts up. Abole, you got a hand on it. Nicely done.
And that pass by Lance Jones is going to have a little more juice on it. He floated that one in there, and that allowed Abole to make a play on it.
Emmanuel Abole out of Nigeria. He was dealing with a knee issue that he suffered in junior college in the Rochester area last year. Simpson off the pull-up, misses.
Interesting, between Abole and Jeremiah Williams, it's like Rutgers made moves at the deadline. They've just been able to add some pieces, and certainly with Jeremiah Williams, a super impact player.
No protected draft picks were involved. Braden Smith, oh, that is just money for him.
He's just so comfortable. Anytime you're in the drop, Braden Smith is looking for that pull-up jumper. It's been phenomenal all year long on that shot. 45% on shots off the bounce for the year.
And his level of comfort overall as Edey meets Simpson and it pinballs around. Kaufman-Renn tangled up.
Good as Braden Smith been early in this game. I mean, on both ends, whether it's the passing, the looking for his own offense, he's getting a hand on it here. Braden Smith, little screen, rescreen. You got him in a drop situation. If you're not getting way over with him, this is like shooting a horse shot for Braden Smith.
I know Purdue fans are watching this. They're worried about the loss, and they're worried about the loss in the tournament. He's a big reason why they feel like they're not going to be in early bounce this year, to me.
I agree. I think Lance Jones is right there, too.
Oh, he forgot something and picked it back up. That was a pick 6 waiting to happen. And Ross Aid. Amori back in. Lawyer missed it straight away. Pinballs out to Lawyer. And here's Edey. Back to Lawyer, and he had his pass tip taken away by Gavin Griffiths. And that jumper for Fernandez is down.
And Fernandez has shot it so much better in Big Ten play. 44% from 3 in conference games. Turnover, that's been the issue for Purdue. Rutgers as good as anybody in this league at forcing them, and they're off to the races.
Matt Painter said that about the Ohio State game. That's just too easy for Smith, even though he was fading away. Matt Painter said, look, when we were in the half-court set defensively, we were fine. But that open floor stuff just killed him.
Well, their 3 losses on the year, opponents are averaging 20 points per game off of turnovers. It's just something that has really been their kryptonite. And if Purdue wants to be the team that they think they can be, that's something they've got to clean up here down the stretch.
Griffiths for Fernandez, and he strikes another one.
Well, Ethan Morton has got to get back to Noah Fernandez. They hit him with a quick tech.
Fernandez.
All I could say on that is he better have really said the magic words. And I don't even know what that is. I guess better be something pretty bad. He said something to Ethan Morton.
Well, let's watch. Shot goes down.
Yeah, that better be really, really bad. Otherwise, we've seen a couple technicals. We've seen players getting hit with tees for talking to fans. I just think that, not that you should be able to show someone up or embarrass someone, but if he's just jawing about making a shot, that should not be a tech.
All I would ask is, do officials read Twitter? Because a lot worse stuff. I mean, they got 240 characters on Twitter.
No, I hear you, man. If he just said like something along the lines of better guard me or buckets or whatever. I just can't even imagine what that would have to be for it to be a tag.
Did you say buckets to people? Robert?
I was searching for anything PG, all right? That's what I was looking for.
I don't know. He just gave up 20 to Robbie Hummel. He kept saying buckets to me. Weird.
Anything hurts when you give him 20.
Intercepted by Hyatt. And he scores.
And there's the turnover once again. Andre Hyatt active on that weak side, reads the passing lanes beautifully. How about Rutgers? No Moat Mag, and they're out here competing early on.
Look, if they're going to make a run, and they had the opposite thing happen at the end of the year last year where they ended up out of the tournament, that three is money for Camden Heide, his 12th of the year.
Just 4 points the last 4 games for Cam Heide, but he's a guy that with his ability on defense, the ability to make shots, he is shooting 44% from 3. He can be an X factor for this Purdue team down the stretch.
They shoot it so well as a team. You add that, and so much more dangerous.
Noah Fernandez is balling out here. His first 2 threes, and now getting to his jump stop, turning around and drilling the jumper.
Notably, he said nothing after the shot. We have wiped that from the game. You know what it's like to play in this arena, and you get competitive, right?
I mean, in any arena, his turnovers are stacking up for Purdue.
Griffiths against Gillis. Euro step.
It's exactly what you talked about with Matt Painter. When you can't set your defense and you turn the basketball over, which they now have done 4 times, it's just giving points away to Rutgers.
They had 7 points on turnovers. A third of their points have come basically in the open floor.
That was a dangerous pass there from Mason Gillis.
We've seen some of those already for Purdue. There's another one, high risk. Smith, little head fake. Morton into the corner, and good.
If you're Jermichael Davis, though, that's just a lack of understanding on the scouting report. You are rotating from Cam Heide to Ethan Morton. Morton has no points. All right, give me a technical foul. But if I just say something, I mean, come on.
You should have gotten teed up for all those bad basketball things we did a bunch of years ago on social media.
Those were perfect examples of maybe technical points.
I mean, yeah, I was, when you said that just a moment ago, I was so stunned that I had no reaction.
I thought you were a better listener. You were locked into something. I just think this has gone way too far. And both of those texts are just, I hate the calls.
Well, you've played in a lot of college basketball games and NBA games, and the environment gets to you. Like, that's the point of this arena,
yeah,
right?
I mean, you're telling me Noah Fernandez makes a big shot on the road, and you can't say, man, you can't guard me? Or someone yells at Cam Heide about how that's not going in, and you're not saying something back? Just say, come on.
And I will add to that, like, officiating is a very difficult job. When you start calling those, you make it harder for yourself.
Rutgers is getting on the offensive board. So every time if you're Purdue, you've got to do a better job checking out and making sure that you find your man.
Mason Gillis is that man for Purdue.
He is having a massive season for Purdue. The way he's shooting the basketball, whether it's in conference play or on the year, does a great job of relocating, finding some open space, and Purdue's guards always looking for him on the perimeter.
He was 7 for 14 in the 2 games from 3 before the Ohio State loss. He only took 1 in that game. Amori knew it was short, and Edey stretches out for the rebound. 1 dribble. Jones missed it. Taken away by Heide. Now what?
He said that.
I'm not the only one thinking it. Come on. It's a shot clock issue.
All right.
I speak for the fans.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Nobody's happy. We can tell you that much. Now it's quiet in here, just like they want it. That's a tough pass to catch for Edey.
That's the exact opposite of that last Lance Jones pass. That was a laser beam. Somehow Edey able to corral it, kind of batted it up, controlled the basketball, and got into his move.
That's 2 on Jeremiah Williams, by the way.
That's a big development there. That's a great catch. I mean, he just knocks that down with one hand. And when he's got space, goes to work. You got Williams reaching in there, and it was big for Jeremiah Williams to pick up that second.
Fill in the blank. A good entry pass is blank.
Thrown with velocity where it will hit him in the sternum. That is what a good post entry is. I think when I played for Matt Painter, he talked about how, man, if you put it right on our post guy, it was Juwan Johnson at the time. You put it right on his chin and just throw it through him. It's on him to catch it. But there's never in doubt where the defender could swim around and some of those loosey-goosey passes can get knocked down.
Even with all the Cavaliers stuff, we're getting a foul called against Purdue. It's against Rutgers, I should say. They're going to say it is Rutgers' foul. It's on Fernandez. That's his second personal.
And that's one of those plays where it's a dribble handoff and it's not even real action. But Fletcher Lawyer runs into him here. I just think with the way that the rule is stated, as a defensive player, just run into the guy and you're going to get the call.
Yeah.
I think that's why if you're going to dribble handoff, you've got to come to a jump stop.
I was just going to say, with all that's happened, the turnovers, etc., Purdue is up 8, and Heide is absolutely feeling it.
Rutgers going to that 1-3-1, and what's vulnerable against that type of zone defense is the corners. Great pass, and Cam Heide, as aggressive as we've seen him in the last couple weeks.
Purdue is the 4th best three-point shooting team in the country. Heide has 3 of them already, and suddenly an 11-point game. Hyatt fouled by Gillis.
It's a tough matchup there for Mason Gillis because Andre Hyde is essentially a big guard. Got Gillis playing the 4, and wise by Hyatt to put that thing on the ground and find his way to the painted area.
Hyatt, originally from the Bronx, went to the Miller School in Charlottesville, Virginia. Transferred from LSU. Wild game down there. No kidding. Yikes.
Kentucky's defense has been like all over the place. No question, they're talented, but man, they gotta fix that up.
The NCAA tournament is going to be absolutely insane.
It will be awesome. Just the amount of good teams in college hoops. The COVID year, certainly the transfer portal has changed a lot of the way we look at parity in this game.
We've seen UConn and Purdue, and a lot has been written about them being the top 2 teams in the country, but both have lost in the past week, and Purdue trying to find its footing right here today. There's the screen from Edey, and the rescreen again. It's met this time by the defense of Abole. Smith, why not?
But Abole's got to understand who he's guarding coming off that switch. I mean, he's trying to help out on Edey, but you can't just give Braden Smith a walk-in 3.
More dimensions certainly this year to this Purdue team, offensively especially, as Oscar Palmquist has checked into the ballgame, the senior from Sweden. Austin Williams is in. That's redirected out of bounds, and it's off of Rutgers.
This dude is going to compete at the highest level.
Who was that guy guarding you?
David Lighty. Man, he was a beast. He was a really good player. Very underrated in that era of Big Ten hoops.
He made some big shots for them, too.
Just good all around. A winning player for Ohio State.
Braden Smith skids to a stop. He's all over the place. And he gets to the rim anyway and rimmed it out.
Everything but the basket. He did a great job. That hedge by Abole didn't bother him one bit.
Simpson, nice defense from first. Another offensive rebound and a foul called. Kaufman-Renn says it's his. Abole will go to the line.
The offensive boards again. Rutgers, they have just lived there here tonight. Now got 6 offensive rebounds. Honestly, though, a good foul by Purdue because Emmanuel Abole only shooting 33% from the foul line and limited volume.
Extremely limited volume. 31 minutes for his career.
This has chicken potential here. This has some chicken sandwich potential. I think the building understands that.
Foghorn Leghorn and friends are playing along.
Oh, wow. Oh, and a bullet with the shush. Silence the crowd.
I will say, the last time I heard a groan that loud in an arena was for like a gruesome injury. That was depression.
It is crazy to see that the loudest moments in the stadium are when the opposing team is shooting for chicken sandwiches. And certainly the loudest groan is going to be when that shot goes down.
You've been at college before. You don't
Food
know
is gold.
Wow, hard drive. Heide has been awesome tonight.
Well, now that he's made a couple threes, those closeouts are coming differently. And Cam Heide is a big-time athlete, so no surprise when he drives to the rim, he's going to finish it above there.
I mean, he was playing high school basketball in 8th grade. He knows playing up, certainly, and there's a 2 for Davis, his first bucket, but Heide with 11, and the Purdue lead right there. Braden Smith feels so much more like a quarterback this year.
It's just he's so under control and orchestrates the offense. Great contest there by Amori, but with him out there contesting the shot, that leaves you vulnerable there on the defensive glass.
Caleb First just slithered through a couple of Scarlet Knights to find that rebound as Simpson called for the foul.
First had 4 offensive boards in the loss at Ohio State, so he's maybe not scoring the way that he has in years past. He's certainly still a factor with his physicality and ability to get to the boards.
That one sits down. Rutgers is fortunate that Williams didn't get involved in that. That would have been his 3rd personal foul. Rutgers gives up 65 points a game. Kaufman-Wren popped it in the air. I mean, Purdue could have 50 at halftime.
Davis's leg.
It is.
That was a heck of a play by Lance Jones. He gets squared up Jamichael Davis, and he gets a hand on this, rips him, and that goes right off the knee of Davis.
Good job to let it go. Ron Groover there on the call. To shoot for Jones. First double came late, and the rebound for Williams.
It's a tough one there with Amori. He's so physical, you can't move him, and then with his length, able to contest the shot.
When he shot that, Matt Painter had his hands on his head.
He understands how fortunate Purdue is there. Ray Kaufman-Wren just totally lost Andre Heide. He was wide open.
I mean, Matt Painter was apoplectic that that shot happened. He was frustrated, but Rutgers with the miss there. I mean, look, Purdue wins 83% of the time in this building. They have not lost here this year, once again. They went undefeated here 5 years ago as well, and other seasons certainly too. But Rutgers won here last year. That's rolling around in some minds.
Well, their physicality, the way they turn you over, the fact that they can get to the rim, it bothers Purdue. And there's a nice play there by Fletcher Lawyer. He's going to find a way to get him going. Coming off that handoff, he hit Zach Edey. Yeah, I think Rutgers with their personnel has been set up to give Purdue's personnel problems, and we've seen that for a couple seasons.
Rutgers has gone quiet. 19-6 run for Purdue. This will be late shot clock again for Rutgers. It's Williams waving off the Amori screen. Hyatt drops it with 3. Floater, no good.
A really good defensive possession for Purdue there, all the way in the gaps.
Oh, Braden Smith, I mean, zigzagging through like it was a tire maze, and Hyatt fouls him.
Braden Smith has been the best player on the floor here tonight. He's just searching out for anybody. He hits Lawyer, and then you got to worry about Fletcher Lawyer at the rim. Amory's stepping up, helping uphill, and that means that there's nobody home for the 7-4 reigning National Player of the Year on a 100% shot.
You don't have to be a NASA specialist to know that 100% is good.
It's pretty efficient, yes.
Lance Jones and the quest for a natty. Starring Harrison Ford, or?
Yeah, well done. That looked like a movie poster from Tropic Thunder.
You want to do the movie preview, the trailer for Lance Jones and a quest for a natty?
You're the guy that's good at the movie trailer voice, so if anybody should do it, that person should be you.
Sadly, the timeout is coming to an end, and we have an element to show you. So, in a world, in last year's game.
Well,
it's Cam Spencer.
Yeah, and we all have seen Cam Spencer in the year that he's had at UConn, but he had a massive game. That 3 for Brandon Newman, falls off the rim, and Rutgers got just an enormous road win here last January.
I know you're the analyst, you're supposed to have the hot takes, but for me, Rutgers is a tournament team if Cam Spencer is still here.
Oh, yeah. I think that they've played like a tournament team since Jeremiah Williams has been here. Now, the question will be, does their resume support that? You know, they've won 4 out of 5. They've certainly, adding him into the mix gives you someone offensively that can play pick and roll, get to the rim. Their shooting has been a struggle, but defensively they've been elite on the season. Maybe not great tonight so far. I think they've been so much better since getting him into the fold.
Well, the College Football Playoff Committee took Florida State out of the 4-team tournament because they lost a player. That will certainly be a foul. It's not apples to apples, right? But Florida State was undefeated, and they didn't have their quarterback.
Right.
If you add somebody, the question is, how does the basketball committee create space for you or not? And it obviously depends on your resume.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, the question will be, does Rutgers have a resume that's worthy of being close enough to getting in the NCAA tournament? Then if you do, now you say, well, this is what they are with Jeremiah Williams.
Yeah, the net is not good enough, but the net was good enough last year, and they didn't get in.
No, I mean, last year that felt like one of the real mistakes by the selection committee. And I think also when you factor in what happened at Ohio State, that was not.
Second one is good for Jamichael Davis. The big non-conference win right now for Rutgers is at Seton Hall.
Which has aged well.
Yes.
That has aged better.
That's a 10-win team in the Big East right now, but the rest of the non-conference profile isn't strong enough to prop up the net yet.
It's too bad they didn't beat Princeton, because that would have been a good win on a neutral floor.
Doesn't Yale know it just recently?
Sorry, James.
Hoffman ran high-low with Edey. It's actually high-to-high when Zach Edey's involved.
The spacing was interesting there. You had Kaufman, Ren, and Edey in close quarters. I thought that foul was maybe going to be on Gavin Griffiths. I don't think that was on Amory. I think they did get it on Amory. I thought somebody else was hanging on his arm.
Can I amend my terminology again? That was like medium-low. It wasn't even high-low because of the spacing.
Yeah, he was at like the third hash mark.
Yeah. Edey. Got it. Any other hot-button topics you want to hit? I feel like we've touched on a lot of stuff here in the first half.
This has been very big picture. Very worldly of college hoops.
Do you have any opinions on Caitlin Clark that you want to go viral? That's been going around a little bit.
Just that she is one of the greats. We'll just leave it at that.
I saw
she is great. I'll say that.
Thank you, Rob.
She is a great player.
I saw Jeff Goodman's tweet from Indiana earlier today.
Yeah, who else is moving the needle like that in all of college sports? College football, college anything. I mean, they're just not.
We would have had time to finish the conversation, but that 1 second coming off the clock brought us into a break window. So to make threes and dunk on people's heads. That's efficiency.
Well, I mean, Purdue shooting 70% from the field, 66% from three. They have 4 turnovers, but they haven't had a single turnover in the last 7:21. At the 11:21 mark, they had 4 of those, and they have been clean since.
If Purdue plays clean basketball, it's
going to be really hard. And on top of that, Rutgers is playing shorthanded, and Cliff Amore is in foul trouble.
Heide got popped there, just like during that one Super Bowl when it interrupted programming.
Really one of the lone bright spots for Rutgers offensively has been Noah Fernandez. He's got 9. There's not a single player that has more than 5. Outside of him.
I'll play through Simpson here. He's hit that earlier, and he missed it this time.
Purdue, they're fortunate because that was a miscommunication there between Lance Jones and I believe it was Cam Heide. A wide open jumper for Derek Simpson.
Smith ribs the engine again. Oh, over the shoulder. And Edey couldn't handle it.
The spacing there by Rutgers on that fast break, it was just so condensed. Gavin Griffiths has got to get out wide, and you had 3 Rutgers Scarlet Knight players all bunched up on the break.
Yeah, that was turn 3 at Bristol.
Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing.
Richard Petty would be proud.
Edey. He thought he got fouled. So did the crowd.
It came off his hand like it either slipped out or they just drilled his arm.
Another offensive rebound. Palmquist threw it to the Wabash River.
This is an interesting possession. Wow.
Interesting is doing a lot of work there. Edey screening. Now it's Jones. Catch and shoot. Missed it for 3. Purdue had scored in 8 of 10 possessions before those last couple empties. Abole called Edey a foul there against Zach Edey. I don't think Michael's going to get some cards and letters from the people around here. That's... I mean,
Abole is off balance. Yeah, it's a tough call against Zach Edey.
We've talked about it before. Zach Edey is a tough whistle.
Yep.
He is a big guy. He plays big, and there's frustration usually on both sides with the whistle. That one looked like he was vertical. Abole.
Well, it also looked like Abole was just off balance. He's just kind of falling down.
No food drama this time. He made the first. He made the second.
Stroke actually looks better than what his percentage would tell you it is. I know it's low volume, so he's got some time to get that thing up.
Gillis just ball faked everybody out of the scene, and a rebound for Heide. Jones got it.
This does not look like what we've seen from Rutgers defensively on the year. I mean, that ball fake, the cardinal rule of leaving the basketball is broken, and then off the offensive rebound, you've got to match up, and nobody gets to Lance Jones.
Griffiths wants to drive. Denied by Heide at first. Simpson. No. Purdue had 69 points on Sunday against Ohio State. They made 3 threes all game. They've got 7 now. Smith down the lane.
Blocked by Abole.
It was. Edey played volleyball, and here comes Griffiths. He got it back. And he's fouled. Wingardium Leviosa will go to the free throw line for 2.
That was better by Rutgers on the break here. You give it up early off this tap out. Now it's 3-on-1 basketball. Griffiths gives it up, gets it right back. Nice play from Derek Simpson, and got Gavin Griffiths going to the foul line.
One of the best recruits in Rutgers history. Gavin Griffiths, a big-time scorer in high school, and it is so hard. Every coach in college basketball says this. to be a freshman nowadays against the amount of
23, 24-year-old guys. You know, it was hard enough before. How many times 10 years ago did you say, hey, man, freshman year it's going to be a struggle? And maybe those 2 free throws kind of jumpstart him because he has really struggled with his shot. 2 of his last 20 from the field. That is not a good spot to pick your dribble up there. He was fortunate.
Here comes Smith again. Edey mashes the rim.
It doesn't matter what defense Rutgers has wanted to play. Man-to-man, 1-3-1, 2-3. Purdue is just getting whatever it wants.
And Rutgers hasn't made a field goal in 6 minutes. And won't this time either.
Oh, what a pass.
That is a laser to Jones. Oh, man, a vapor trail on it. Fernandez against Jones, little hesitation, turn around, Edey came out, it's no good. Rebound Smith, up ahead, Lawyer, he didn't get it off, I don't believe. Even so, a 52-point first half for Purdue. Playing like Mike Steele used to here at Purdue.
That's a compliment right there. One of the all-time one of the legends of the Purdue basketball program.
He just showed up courtside here, proving that they will truly let anybody sit next to us.
Rutgers coming out with that extended 1-3-1 zone, trying to get Purdue off balance. First half they went to it a couple times, and Purdue got open threes.
And they do again. Lawyer the miss. Jones read it perfectly, but missed as well.
Fletcher Lawyer just still unable to find the range. Coming into tonight, 3 of his last 18 from the field. He's 0 of 2 tonight. He's a guy that Matt Painter, I'm sure, would like to get going. See that thing go through the hoop.
Williams a near hit there. Yeah, with 1 field goal made each of the last 3 games for Lawyer. Smith just dragging the defense wherever he wants at this point.
Heide's got to make Trey Coffin-Run go to his left. He's coming back to that left shoulder. That's what he wants every time. He wants to get to his right hand. If I'm guarding him, man, I am sitting on that left shoulder.
No, that's his deal.
That is his deal.
Jones, great defense. Edey the hit ahead. Jones, soft touch.
They all count the same.
I kind of like it. It was a delicate
he had big ambitions there, but I felt like the pass kind of threw him off.
It's like circling a couple times because of weather, right?
Well, the flat tire is never a good feeling as a player. You go up to thinking you're going to just hammer it, and then you get up there and you're like, man, I might miss this.
Somebody who had a flat tire in a rental car 2 days ago, you hit too close to home, Robert.
Man, those Lexuses they give you just not the same.
Okay. Coffin ran his foul. Here's the defense started by Edey.
Lance Jones just kind of jumping on this left hand to Jeremiah Williams, and then Edey throws it, and there you see where Lance Jones, if he catches that clean, maybe he is going up and tearing the rim off.
Edey offensive rebound, right back up and a smash.
For as well as Rutgers has played the last 5 games, 1-4 of 5, there just has not been much resistance for Purdue tonight.
Rutgers playing without Mawat Mag. He is out with knee trouble today. Ooh, foul called against Lawyer, who played ring around Jamichael Davis. Davis, 24 of 50 from the line this year coming in. That's below 50%.
Thought of the great Happy Gilmore quote there of, oh, you can count. But Jermichael Davis is a guy that his defense certainly ahead of his offense, but he's done some very positive things for Rutgers this year. Certainly one of those young pieces that Rutgers gets that recruiting class in next season. You've got some young guys that can really play.
Yeah, so far tonight, though, the price has been very wrong. Edey for 2.
Well, it's a blow-by on the drive. It's no one on the defensive glass. This has been surprising from Rutgers. I mean, they just, defensively, they've not been very good tonight.
Floater is there for Davis.
They're looking to put Fletcher Lawyer in driving situations, pick-and-roll situations, and Jermichael Davis on back-to-back plays, getting to the line and getting to his floater.
Amori has 2 fouls. Edey in a tangle. Smith got it away so quickly, creating that 3.
You get a laser beam pass out of the double team, and it's going to be impossible to rotate over. Edey was kind of back on his heels, but still, if there's no airtime under there, your guards can't possibly rotate.
You're so right. The time and tempo of that pass created the Jones 3.
Your ball pressure has got to affect it. The problem is he's 7'4", so who can actually reach up that high?
The people who did the halftime act can. Pull up for Smith. No, and a little bump by Amori creates the rebound.
I just feel like we haven't talked about Cliff Amori hardly at all tonight. 2 points, 1 assist from the field. He has been a total non-factor.
Yeah, Edey came over there to help. Amori got a hand on the rebound, but what are you going to do? I hope at some point we can show the audience what happened here at halftime, because it was death-defying.
I've never seen that act, and it was terrifying to watch. But they're really good. That chuck there just totally took Edey out of the play.
Williams on the attack for 2.
That's the first easy basket that Rutgers has gotten in what feels like 15 minutes of game time. It just, everything has seemed so hard. And their defense creating a turnover, helping out their offense.
Well, that's why they were within 1 at 22-21 early, was the turnovers that Purdue had given up as Edey puts it in.
It's another possession where you're just like, Fletcher Lawyer's coming off, and it's an uncontested shot at the rim.
This is Rutgers' points allowed average for the year, 65 and change.
Purdue is 1.5 points per possession on average. I mean, 1 is good. 1.5 is like off the charts.
Hoffman-Wren.
They can go to his left if you're Hyatt. There you go. They're sitting on it right there. Good double by Jermichael Davis.
But the safety valve is there.
When all else fails, lob it up top. Great cereal.
Yeah. It's a little easier, Waldo, by the way, to find you. It's like the beginner's version when you have the giant gold chain around your neck.
Yeah, I like that. The turnover chain.
You know what? I don't know what parlor games we'll have left by the end of the game, but Waldo's happy right now. That's all you can ask for.
Is he wearing earplugs? Or headphones? Maybe he's listening to us.
You think so? I think they're earplugs.
I think they're earplugs.
Which is honestly the best way to experience us.
Or maybe he's listening to Bobby Buckets over there.
You think maybe?
Might be.
We're going to play Purdue bingo by the end of the night if we can get a Dick Satterfield reference in.
Oh, man, we're digging deep here. I think Dick might be the best golfer of any Purdue basketball player.
He's going to have to get extra data on his phone for this game alone. Griffiths with the miss, and Mason Gillis is jostled and fouled. I'll tell you what, during the previous break, I took off my headset when it was very loud in here. Earplugs are not a bad idea by Waldo.
I mean, I have been to Allen Fieldhouse for a big game, and I think that place is incredibly loud. And other than Allen Fieldhouse, I think Mackey Arena is better than anywhere else in college.
Say it louder so Waldo can hear it. I think Mackey Arena.
Yell it, right? No, this place has become a total monster of a venue. It's amazing to see what it's become the last 5 years.
Even different than when you played.
And it was really good, but it wasn't what it is now.
Edey for 2 and a foul, and he is amped.
Well, again, Purdue just getting whatever they want. Ethan Morton throwing it inside. You've got Emmanuel Abole, who only has played. This is his 6th game for Rutgers, and he's having to check the National Player of the Year. You can imagine how that's going, because there's no one that's slowing him down tonight.
No, and Edey's been nails from the foul line the last 3 games, and 71% plus for the year.
Well, think about the 5 games prior to Ohio State. He was shooting only 57% from the line. So to see him clean that up, that's a big deal for Purdue making their way towards March.
Saw his mom here in attendance. Tough pivot, and Fernandez has been the star of the show for Rutgers tonight.
He's been by far their best player. 3's been in the paint. Not that bad technical foul.
Just one last mention of that.
It was a bad technical.
It was. His last points were at 10:43 of the first half on a free throw, so it's been a while. Smith probing. Jones jumping. There's this low hum from the student section.
Whoa.
Griffiths got it.
He's known as a scorer. It hasn't translated. You talked about some of the issues with young freshmen getting to the college game, but there's no doubt that he's got a scorer's mentality, and you have to think him seeing that go through is just massive for Gavin Griffiths.
Good for him. You know how tough it is.
No, I mean, you just think, am I ever going to make a shot again when you're 1 of 18?
They are so good at clearing out. Yeah. Jones there for 2.
He just drives his defender right off Edey. Edey just clearing the runway.
If they've yet to do a video with him holding like 2 orange batons, they should.
Your traffic control video.
Griffiths wanted to get that up.
I get the feeling this is going.
If he had a chance, he would have. Palmquist. He made a half-court shot. His first shot at the end of shoot-around. That one wouldn't go.
So a good pass from Griffiths. That skip pass gets him wide open.
Purdue really turns the ball fast and hard.
Look at that pass.
Ooh. Fly by. Mason Gillis makes a round. 4-3.
Where is our clipboard? How do we sign up? I mean, this is about as good of an offensive performance as I've seen all year. The movement from side to side, the field goal percentage, the way they're shooting it from 3. They've been on the offensive glass. This is impressive stuff.
That was as good of an offensive possession as you'll see, as Griffiths is not shy. He misses there. Braden Smith with the Heisman for Fernandez. Hopping on the drill. He's having fun right now.
He's in total control. He just got popped in the mouth.
Guess what? He returns the favor and just got mangled at the rim. Whew, this possession, man. Okay. So Edey to the free throw line, where he is perfect once again tonight.
When you think about plays like that, is it excessive and is it unnecessary? On top of that, is it a basketball play? I'm not sure how that fits under basketball play.
I'm with you. But it's a 33-point game, so we will.
And that might be part of it.
In TV parlance, we'll push.
Is that like blackjack parlance pushing?
No, I wouldn't know after the Broncos-Raiders game back in January.
You're on a sabbatical. Huh?
That was a tough night at the Felt for your partner.
I hate to see that.
Pac-12 tournament coming up here on Fox. Quick time for a promo. Braden Smith is fouled from behind by Austin Williams, it looked like. 100 looks almost inevitable for Purdue if they keep the foot on the pedal. Boilermakers are at Michigan on Sunday. They have Michigan State at Illinois, home for Wisconsin to close as they do move toward a possible first overall seed in the NCAA tournament. It looks like, I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but they're very likely to play in Indy.
Yes, and barring a meltdown, I think saying that they'll be a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament is not exactly going on a limb.
I'm very careful about going out on limbs after the halftime entertainment.
It was crazy.
It was wild. Palmquist, too short. The rebound eventually into the arms of Ethan Morton. Razzle-dazzle off the spin, and then he threw it to somewhere else.
Caleb first thought that was getting sprayed to Heide. He was trying to get rebound position.
We just simulated the pass there with that look from under the basket. Davis comes back in for Rutgers. They'll play home. Maryland, Michigan, at Nebraska, at Wisconsin, Ohio State to close. Look, this is the game where if they were to get a win, you could argue the trajectory was changing.
Yeah. And I guess for Rutgers going forward, I mean, you've got Maryland on Sunday. I think you just flush this, and you're like, you know what? We caught Purdue on a tough night. Mawat Mag was injured, didn't play, but we've got to be better. I do agree with you. If you want to be serious about talking NCAA tournament for Rutgers, that they needed to get this game against the #3 team in the country. But I think still, for this group, for as new as it is, for who they lost, you lose Cam Spencer, you lose Caleb McConnell, you lose Paul Mulcahy, all of your playmaking. Making the NIT would not be.
Whoa! Wow! Come on, Cam Heide! You were saying?
Yeah, I just think making the NIT for Rutgers, considering the start, would be okay. I know that's not the goal, but I think for Rutgers with these young guys, that would be.
Ooh, they're not gonna like it. Just previewing what's coming from the crowd, but they're not gonna like that call. There's Cam Heide on the other side.
He's really athletic. He's one of those guys that he's shooting 40+% from 3, but he's got real bounce. And with Amori coming over to block it, first in the Big Ten, second nationally, that's high-level stuff. Some hang time, the English, just going glass.
That one's wrestled away without a whistle by Heide. This has been an extremely disjointed performance by Rutgers.
And Purdue has been really good, but Rutgers this has not been their better performances of the year.
Lawyer curling. Jones with a hand in his face. Couldn't get the roll. Wow. Great job following that by Caleb first. He tracked it the whole way.
That's what he's out there to do. Give effort, get on the offensive glass. He understands his role so well.
Now he turns and burns. Oh, another dimension.
Fake dribble handoff is a powerful weapon, especially when you've got shooters running off them. They have kept it going in Big Ten play, and their resume is second to no one.
Their only 3 losses are all on the road, all in conference, and that is a splashdown for Palmquist, his 10th of the year. I mean, teams lose in conference play in college basketball. It is a staple.
Especially on the road.
Yeah, I just
on the road. Look at Rutgers tonight. They look nothing like what we've seen in this stretch where they've won 4 or 5.
Oh, a little shimmy from first, and he got it to the corner for Mason Gillis.
Purdue is approaching 1.6 points per possession on the game. That is an incredible number. Now at 1 point, they just hit it. 1.6 points per possession for Purdue.
Yeah, this is surgery right now, and nobody dropped a junior bid. Oh, Palmquist gave it up so Amori could score.
Nice little stretch there by Palmquist. Makes a 3, gives it up to Amori for the easy bucket. And that's exactly, if you're Steve Pikiell, you're trying to find something positive here in these last 7 minutes to take with you into Sunday.
worst blowout you've ever been a part of?
I was in a game, and we came from Mexico City, played the New Orleans Pelicans, and we're down by 50 in the third quarter. It was one of those games where you're thinking, if I could hit like sim to end, like you could in the old video games, I would do that.
Palmquist couldn't corral it. I'm guessing that didn't happen. They don't allow that in the NBA.
No. I blame the New Orleans airport because we didn't get in until 5 a.m. and that definitely threw off our 16-win team.
Is that why they built the new one down there?
Maybe. Timberwolves blowout.
Caleb first defended by Griffiths, taken away by Gillis. Another one for Heide. That was 3 points per possession that time.
This has just been so impressive from Purdue.
There's still that low hum of the crowd, reminding you always that they're here, and they are always here as Williams scores.
Rutgers finally seeing the ball go through the basket. There was that stretch to end the first half where they missed so many in a row, and even if you're getting good shots, that's deflating. Your opponent's scoring, and if you're going to beat Purdue at Mackey Arena, you've got to score with them. That just was never in the cards here tonight.
No, it wasn't. This one on the ground, Purdue's still battling for it. So is Rutgers, and we're going to have a tie-up. It's going to go to Rutgers. Your favorite Gene Cady story?
You know, he came on a lot of trips my junior year because his wife had passed away, so he came on almost every road trip. And we played down in the Virgin Islands in what was the Paradise Jam. And he was down there with pretty much his 4 best friends, and they had the most amazing time. Playing golf, hanging at the pool, and just chilling. But they knew how to enjoy themselves. Yes, it was awesome to see.
So cool to see him here, and the reverence that everybody in this program has for him. He's got a hat with his name on it. Yeah. Amazing.
But I think the crazy thing to me about getting to know Coach Cady is that I remember watching as a kid Purdue basketball games and thinking, man, he's scary. He yells at the players, he yells at the refs, he looks mad all the time. And then you meet him, and he's one of the funniest people you will ever come across. I mean, he is awesome. He's an awesome guy, awesome coach, and he is truly a legend here at Purdue.
Gavin Griffiths a miss there. This Boilermaker team, 23 wins, looking certainly like a 1 seed again. The Big Ten tournament in Minneapolis this year, a double bye coming for them. And it looks like another Big Ten title. I mean, we're talking about 25 of them at this point for this program. And you get lost in what's happened at the NCAA tournament level over the past couple of years. But the way Matt Painter has taken this thing from Gene Cady and moved it on and continued the level of success. Again, the early bounces get in the way of this conversation, but Matt Painter clearly is one of the best coaches in the country and deserves the credit for that, because the toughest thing to do in college basketball is sustaining.
Well, and I think when you're talking about where Purdue was when he took over and where it is now, it is so hard to look at programs like Michigan State and Illinois when you're looking at like D. Brown and Darren Williams' level of success, or Indiana and some of the teams that they had, and think, how can we get to that level? And he's done that, and he has put Purdue as one of the upper echelon teams in this conference. And to do that with the beast that you're seeing, that is so hard to do.
A Bole scores. So if I'm doing a Matt Painter impression, what words or phrases do I have to have?
That's a good question. You know, I think a lot of his
cable television,
a lot of his sayings come from Gene Cady. I think a lot of the things that he would say to us were things that Gene Cady said to him. So I don't know what exactly the phrases would be that can be said here. But I know one thing, though, about Matt Painter.
What's that?
He is not just an awesome coach. He's an awesome guy. Like, you watch the things that he has done that people don't know about for his players. And it's like, man, he goes above and beyond. It's just, and to see the success on top of that is pretty impressive.
Ryan Waddell into the ball game. Will Berg as well for Purdue. That was surprising to Bole. Oh, boy. If that landed in the hands of the intended target, this place would have gone absolutely berserk. Miles Colvin couldn't handle it, however. Matt Painter, noted Cubs fan, getting ready for spring training while basketball is happening too.
You said that with such disdain in your voice, but you don't have to do that.
You're saying that if you're at the bottom, you could bounce like Tigger to the top or middle?
Yeah, you could.
You know the wonderful thing about Tiggers?
What's that?
Tigger's a wonderful thing. You never watched Winnie the Pooh?
No, I did. It's been a minute. And Christopher Robbins, Dior.
We'll see if Mitch Riggin, our director, cuts back to them or if he's getting around to it.
Always so sad.
The 100-acre wood broke out.
We have hit on a lot of topics tonight.
Yeah, we did. And we're not done. We got 3:10 left.
3:10 to go.
I will say, Kugler and Bardo better have a long open ready, because we're not filling the window here tonight, I don't think.
That's very bad.
That's what we call studio support from Mike and Casey. We learned a lot of TV terms tonight. It's been a great night. Purdue has bounced back brilliantly from a tough loss and really a tough first half against Minnesota in the game prior. That's a tough Minnesota team as well.
They are. They're much improved. Their guard play. I really like King Christian. He is a good player.
Somebody just yelled, "Shoot the ball, Ethan."
Next to him, there was multiple guys guarding. Yeah. He could have passed. He could have passed to Will Bird for a dunk.
Oh, Ethan Morton, little dribbling convention. He listened. And a foul! Cam Heide has been awesome, and we even found Waldo. He's been so good.
Cam Heide, it is certainly a loud message to Matt Painter. Auditioning for more minutes. I mean, you talk about taking advantage of what you've been given here tonight. He's been awesome.
Good to see he screamed after the dunk as well. Thought we had wiped that away from the game in the first half.
You thought it could have been a set?
Nope. The crowd's still hanging on every move. They want the guys who don't get a lot of burn to score some points. Colvin rips it out through Heide. Waddell, step aside. Missed it. Tip Dunk City is broken out. Miles Colvin. This has been a wrecking ball tonight.
You don't see many Big Ten games that get like this, but that's how impressive Purdue has been tonight.
Williams stepped back and he got fouled. Ethan Morton was trying not to. He got in the landing area, and that is a good call.
It felt like Miles Colvin was levitating on this shot. This is the Cam Heide one first.
So we got too many follow dunks.
Yes. Heide letting you know, and then Colvin hanging around and flushing it with the left.
We want chicken is the chant. And they say if you missed all, you have to miss all three to get chicken? If you fouled on a three?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
We have to go to the commissioner of chicken sandwiches at this point.
Okay, if you had the opportunity to appoint of any friend of yours, who would be the commissioner of chicken sandwiches?
In this building, Chris Reed. I would go Chris Reed would be the commissioner of chicken sandwiches via Denver, Colorado. He would thrive in that role.
It was a tough interview process.
No, I didn't need to interview any other candidates. I knew from the second you asked that he was the guy. One of the great players here from 07 to 09.
I know you watched a lot of like Raph growing up, right? Raph, McDonough, and Billis, because you gave the knock first, and then you said, "Oh, but he's a great guy." Miles Colvin for three more.
Everybody getting in on the party. It's been that type of night for Purdue. It's just everything they shoot is going in.
See if there's a foul on a shot here in the final possession, so we can ask the commissioner if there's going to be any food tonight. That was a clean defensive play, and Palmquist for two. The question of whose house has been raised.
I believe they're saying it's their house.
Colvin with a foul, and there are 2 free throws coming. The drama still remains with 18 4/10 to go.
Boy, and JaMychal Davis, 48% from the line on the year.
Dear Mr. Commissioner, are foodstuffs in the offing?
How is he shooting 48% from the line? That doesn't look like that to me.
He is getting booed in a big way here.
Down 29.
Down 29. Got them both. They should have to buy him dinner.
The double down process.
Right. But they have gone back to letting Rutgers know it's their house. The paint crew, Mackey Arena, and this overwhelming environment. Purdue puts up 96 and practices surgery on a great defense. Win number 24 is a bonanza for Purdue.